In the middle of the week, we normally be at the record store, but we had a very special guest. I'd like to thank him, Mr. Kevin So, for taking your time out, stopping by. You can check him out in LaGrange at the Bugle Boy. Is it Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
This Saturday night, just take 71 to 77, and you're there. If you have any questions, email us, Mr. Blakes at metelevision.com. So he's going to take it home with a version of a song called New York City from that latest album, A Brighter Day. Till the next episode, y'all keep it smooth. I'm Mr. Blakes.
All of my life I always knew what I was gonna do, whether or not my childhood dreams were ever coming true. I had to find out for myself if this decision was right. Something inside me was just dying to get out of there. One thing for certain was I wouldn't last another year. I had to move to an environment where dreams can take flight. If I succeed or if I fail, well, at least I'll live to tell the tale about a man whose soul was lifted to new heights. I'm living in New York City, a rich man party and a poor man roam. I'm living in New York City, a million people and you're still alone. I'm living in New York City, I ain't giving up and going back home. Living in New York City, yeah, yeah. Most of my friends are either married or they've got a child. Don't care to travel in the spirit, is no longer wild. You wanna stay, adopt the ways because it's hard to move on. Invest your money, meet somebody, start to settle down. You take your turn, your 2 feet firmly planted in the ground. You fool yourself into believing they were right all along. Can't you see it's one big lie? If you're not reaching for that open sky, there's a crowd of people just waiting to hear this song. So I'm singing it, New York City. Rich man party and a poor man roam. Living in New York City, a million people and you're still alone. I'm living in New York City, but I ain't giving up and going back home. I'm living in New York City, New York City. Not a minute goes by that I think, did I make a mistake? I should have turned around. Waiting for an opportunity, looking for my community, my true companion yet to be found. Yeah, I'm filled with self-doubt, wondering what's it all about. Come to find out, there's always room to grow. Maybe that's what I'm doing here in Brooklyn, just getting ready for the big show. This baby's looking like it wants to blow, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I succeed or if I fail, well, at least I'll live to tell the tale about a man whose soul was lifted to new heights. I'm living in New York City, rich man party and a poor man roam. Living in New York City, a million people ain't still alone. I'm living in New York City, I ain't giving up and going back home. I'm living in New York City, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm living in man party and a poor man roam. Living in New